Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to this video. And as requested, as well as many other videos, I am going to be showing you today how you can become a remote closer in 2023, what you need, and how you can get started as soon as possible, okay? If you could do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. That way you can get more videos like this, number one, and number two, so we can grow this channel. The reason I'm trying to grow this channel is very, very simple, right? Number one, first and foremost, I want to be able to give as much information as possible on high ticket closings so that it can change multiple lives so people can start making money, they can be recession proof, and most importantly, they can learn a skill that's not just going to make them money, but also extend over all of their life, be able to make connections, make good friends, do everything that you possibly can to start living a better life, okay? So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump right into how to become a remote closer in 2023. And the first requirement that is needed is going to be skills. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get those skills. And I'm also going to talk about the difference between skills and experience later in this video, so stay tuned for that. Now, with skills, okay, it is very important. I'm not going to be one of these people that are going to tell you, oh my gosh, you can go to a job and go get an interview and go all this kind of stuff when you don't have any skills, right? There's a big difference between experience and skills. You don't necessarily need experience in closing, but you do need some skills. That way you can actually prove that you're for the job, okay? So with that being said, you have to have some sort of skills to get hired. These skills are speaking, negotiations, confidence, and actually knowing what the heck you are doing on an actual sales call, okay? Now, you can do this in one of two ways. You can either take 1 to 3 years and go get experience via sales cars, right? You can sell cars. You can do life insurance. You can actually go and get a high ticket job, hopefully land it with no skills, no experience, no whatever, and then get that experience. Or you can learn skills from people that have already done it. For example, Simply Close. This is actually the business that me and my business partner are a part of. We teach these skills directly, right? And there's a ton of companies out there that will show you these skills so you can learn them, you can hone in on them, and you can do it within 1 to 3 months, right? So my personal preference, I'm going to take 1 to 3 months, way more than 1 to 3 years, so I can speed along the process and start making money as soon as possible. But you need to be very selective with who you're learning from and make sure they're teaching the right skills, okay? That is super important as well. Now, this is important for two reasons, okay? Number one, it's going to actually give you leverage for you to become a high-ticket closer. Because if you have these skills, it's going to give you leverage on these interviews when you're doing job selection so you actually know what it is you're looking for, and most importantly, that you can actually land the job over all of the other applicants, right? And number two, this is assurance for the business owner that you will actually produce, okay? If you have no skills, if you have no experience, if you have no idea what the heck is going on, that's not giving them any assurance whatsoever to actually hire you, right? So for those of you that do not have experience, this is going to be super important because you need some sort of skill, right? You need to be able to speak, you need to be able to negotiate, and you need to have confidence, right? Among many others, okay? So if you have these skills, it's going to give assurance for that business owner that they're like, okay, they don't have experience, but they can speak really well, they're super coachable, their negotiations are phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and hire this person because it's giving me assurances, right? And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. But that is skills, okay? How you get them is very simple. Why you need them is very simple. And that is the first requirement needed to become a high-ticket closer in 2023, right? The second requirement needed is job selection. You need to know how to actually find the opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk about where to look and how to start applying, okay? And there's two main ways that you can do this, especially in the online space, to become a high-ticket closer, right? The first thing that you can do is you can go to Facebook, right? Everybody has this app, and if you do not have this app, download it, right? Because this is going to help you out tremendously when you're actually trying to find opportunities. And what you can do is you can go to the search bar and you can search high ticket closing opportunities, right? Or sales opportunities or whatever you want to call it, right? But just a sales job. Okay. And then what you can do is you can actually click groups, right? And you will see hundreds and hundreds of lists of groups that actually do high ticket closing opportunities that have many of them that are posted nonstop. Okay. At Simply Close, we're actually connected with a few of these major groups, and that's how we do placement. But this is how you can look and how you can actually become one right now. Okay. Go to Facebook. That's number one. Search in the search bar, find an opportunity, and look for the opportunities where the percentages of commissions are good, right? The offer actually aligns with you. That's super important. And the business owner has some sort of track record for success in that space, all right? The second thing you can do is you can actually go to Upwork.com, okay? Upwork.com. And what you can do there is you can actually create a profile, list the skills that you have, list exactly what you're looking for, and two things will happen. Number one, you can go actively search, which I highly recommend, for the jobs that are posted to become a remote closer, right? The second thing is you will actually get requested because there's a lot of business owners on Upwork that are going to be posting a job. And the second thing that they do after they post that job is they look at who is actually a remote closer now, who has some jobs experience, who has the skills, who has something that they're looking for, coachability, right? Something that they're looking for, and they're going to click and send you a request. Okay, so those are two ways that you can actually go and look and start applying immediately, right? Now, what to look for based on your interest is super important, okay? Your interest, confidence, and skills. What are you actually looking for, right? What is something that aligns with your interest? What is something that you can say, you know what, I can sell that 100% of the time because I actually believe in it, right? Look for that first, okay? Because that's not only going to give you your interest, that's also going to give you your confidence to be able to sell that with conviction. And that is extremely important when you're starting a high ticket closing job. And last but not least is skills, okay? You need to look for something that is applicable to your skills. If you are a brand new person, you have no experience, you have no skills, all that, you need to look for a lower tier job at first to be able to get those experiences. You can still get the job, right? But you need to start acquiring those skills. And many businesses today, they actually have in-house training where they will train you, they'll give you a script, they'll do all that stuff that'll be super beneficial to you, but you need to look in the right places in order to actually land the job and get that, okay? And last but not least, offers that are the best for extremely high pay. Okay, I'm going to talk about three of them. Number one, first and foremost, is e-commerce, hands down, right? If you are scrolling through Facebook or you're on Upwork and you see an e-commerce business owner, that means that the offers are going to be anywhere from $5,000 to $40,000 plus, right? Now, most of them are anywhere between 10 and 30 for e-commerce, right? That is like the average. Okay. So what that's going to do for you, no matter what percentage they're paying, you're going to get paid higher if you close one of those massive deals. Okay. So that is one of the biggest things that you could possibly do and possibly get in. The second thing is coaching services. All right. Many of those are high ticket, but they're sold like clockwork because they're valuable information. Okay. So that would be the second thing that I would do for extremely high pay, because one is based on leverage from money and the other is based on leverage from how many people are trying to get in. All right. So those are going to be your two best bets. And again, it's very important that you take the job selection serious. You take your time and you look for the right opportunity that you're applying for. Okay. Last requirement needed is crushing an interview, right? And this falls under skills as well, but crushing an interview is super important. Now, here's what I can do for you. As a business owner right now, here's what I can tell you about what we look for, okay? And this is most business owners across the board. When they are interviewing a closer, 99% of the time, if they're a good business owner, they're not looking for experience, because many of the people that have 5, 10, 15 years of experience, they're honed in on one specific way and they're never going to adjust. They're not going to learn and they're not very coachable. That's just my opinion because that's what I've seen, right? Whether you agree with that or not doesn't really matter, because that's exactly what I've experienced over and over and over again. Okay. Now, if you are somebody looking to be a closer, this is very good for you, especially if you're new, right? Because these are the things you need. You need a culture fit, right? Feel them out. See how they are. Ask questions. Be yourself, right? Because if you're yourself, that's going to be very good if they like yourself, right? That's going to be super important, okay? Number 2 is attitude. When you're going on this interview, keep a very, very good attitude, right? Make sure that you are excited, you are happy, you are pleased to be there because it is a pleasure that you even got the interview in the first place, right? So keep that in mind. Number 3 is work ethic, okay? Show your work ethic on the interview. Ask nonstop, hey, how many calls do you want me to take? I can take as many as possible, right? I can work all day. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, by the way, guys. This is something where you actually have to put in the work nonstop to get the money that you're trying to get, okay? Work ethic is very important. That's something that a business owner is looking for nonstop. That's something that we're looking for right now, right? Work ethic, super, super important. Coachability. Can they actually listen and take critiqueness and say, okay, cool, I understand completely. I'll correct it this time, right? Are you coachable? Something to ask yourself, right? And last but not least, some basic form of communication skills. Okay, you need to be able to communicate correctly, right? These are the only things we're looking for, okay? And what I can tell you is we're not looking for experience. We're not looking for somebody that has 5 years of closing high-ticket sales. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking for that because we have trainings that are going to be able to go directly in with this person, right? As long as they are a culture fit, they have the right attitude, they have great work ethic, they're coachable, and they have a bit of communication skills, we will train them in accordance to exactly what we have laid out so they can be successful, right? This is many of the business owners today, okay? This is exactly what they're looking for. So that brings me to my point, right? You don't need experience, but you do need skills, okay? Some sort of skills of coachability, communication skills, right? Understanding an interview, all that kind of stuff. You need those skills in order to actually do good for these businesses on these interviews and actually get the job, right? Now, the third thing, okay, ask good questions, right? Remember, you are closing the business owner to even get this job in the first place. So ask good questions, get good information. What is it that you need to know that is going to be the right fit for you? What percentage do they pay, right? How many successful clients have they had, right? If they're a coaching service or if they're in e-commerce, right? How many successful clients have they had so you can see if you can believe in it, right? Another really, really big question that you need to ask in the interview is what service can I provide for you that is going to take your business to the next level? Obviously, it's closing, right? But what percentage do you want me to close at to be even better, okay? Questions like that are really good questions because they want to hear that stuff, right? Super, super important. What do you need from me? I'm going to do whatever it takes, right? All this kind of stuff for the interview is very, very important. Now, here's something that we teach directly to our students that I'm going to give to you today for free, all right? Go to leverage. This is go to leverage to win the interview, okay? If it's okay with you, after you've answered all the questions, after you've had all your questions asked, all that good stuff, if it's okay with you, Mr. Business Owner or Miss Business Owner, I would love to hop on a practice role play sales call to showcase what I have, but also to show you how much I am willing to learn and work hard, right? Is that okay with you? This question right here is closing, okay? That is closing because what you're doing is a soft close to see if you can get the second part of the interview, right? This immediately secures you further into the interview process and beats out 90% of the people that either one, didn't have experience or skills, or two, they had experience and they had skills, but they didn't ask a question like that because they didn't seal the deal. They didn't close the interview, right? This is super, super important. So if you can ask a question just like that, and then you can go get on the role play and at least halfway crush it, show that you're coachable, show that you have good work ethic, you are going to kill it and you are going to land a job in 2023 right now, okay? So with all of that being said, those are the requirements needed to actually become a remote closer in 2023. And there's some things that I'm going to be talking about on the next video, so stay tuned. But what I'm going to be specifically diving into is what skills are needed, not just to become a closer, but to be a really, really good closer, right? So I'm going to talk about some skills that we can actually implement so you can start learning, you can start understanding. That way you can take that video, you can take this video, put them together, and go get a job right now, right? The point of these videos are to give you as much valuable information as possible, right? And the second thing is, obviously, I want you to know that you can trust exactly what I'm saying, exactly what my business partner is saying. What we do is we help people like this every single day get into these opportunities. Okay. So with that being said, if you're interested in Simply Close, if you're interested in actually training hardcore to be a closer with scripts, with understanding psychological behaviors, with everything in between, DM me on Instagram. And what I will do is I'll hit you back and we'll talk about how you can get started. Okay. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was super valuable. And last but not least, make sure and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments if you actually found this valuable, right? Peace.